What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to say if you're a fan of those legends of the game, I would definitely recommend subscribing to the channel because that's all I'll focus on. Also, guys, if this is content that you enjoy, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd posterize that like button. And with that being said, guys, let's get right into today's video. So, guys, this is going to be similar to the Reggie Lewis build and the Lynn Bias build. Those builds that I've done recently, and it's going to be similar to those because it's a player that, we know the potential was there. We just never got to see him in the NBA. And the thing is with Ben Wilson, we didn't even get to see him in college. So, looking at his high school game, and just thinking about how that may transfer to the pros, it's one of those things that I did look at. I did a couple of different builds on it, and just trying to figure out which build I thought may be the best. And I know that I believe it was Nick Anderson that said that he was Magic Johnson with a jump shot. So, I thought about, should I go like the playmaking and shooting? But the more of it, like the more highlights and things of his that I watched, it kind of, I looked at it like, well, I think his game would translate this way to the pros. It's one of those things that it's more or less going to be a speculation of how his game would have translated. But this is the way that I think it would be, because it's not too dissimilar to, his high school game. To me anyway, I feel like this would probably be, if he had made it to the pros, this would have been the way that you would do a build on him. So it was just, like I said, it was really difficult, but I landed on the Hall of Fame finishing and the Hall of Fame shooting, simply because that gave you the ability to get everything, guys. You had the ability to be a lockdown if you wanted to be a lockdown. You had the ability to, be a spot up shooter if you wanted to be a spot up shooter. You could do the finishing, or the slash and takeover. So at the end of the day, that's the reason why I went the route that I went, because he was a very versatile player. And that gave, this build gave me the most versatility, right? And that's what, led me to, to choose this one, over some of the others that I'd tried, and like I said, it's not that big of a change from, his game, right? It could have been the way that his game translated to the NBA, but it may not have been. He could have been an entirely different kind of player in the NBA. He could have, been, a like a two-way slasher, or, something like that. Maybe like a point forward. It's hard, it's hard to say how his game would have translated, but I think this would have been it. So of course, guys, because this build does have shooting in it, we definitely want to go with the speed pie chart. So we want to go ahead, we want to max out our close shot, our driving layup, our driving dunk, and then we just want to take this up to 52 to get that 12th finishing badge. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to max out our mid-range, our three-point shot, and our free throw. And then we're going to max out our pass accuracy and our ball handling. And then for the rest, guys, we're going to max out our perimeter defense, our lateral quickness, our steal, our block, and then our defensive rebound. And then we'll put the remaining 19 on our offensive rebounding. And there you have it, guys, your badge layout. You're going to have 12 finishing, 16 shooting, 7 playmaking, and 7 defensive and rebounding badges. Body type, I went compact because he was a smaller, he did have a smaller build. We're going to go 6'8", listed at 190. Now, of course, guys, I mean, if he had made it through college and, to the pros, he would have likely been 200, 210 because he would have likely bulked up. But again, there's no way of knowing exactly. For this, I'm going to go ahead and max out his wingspan, simply because we do want to have that finishing ability, and this also helps us on the defensive end. And if you look at the build, guys, I mean, it's not a bad build at all. It's actually a very versatile build because if you look, you're going to have a really, really good close shot of 96 once you get this maxed out, with a driving layup of 83, a driving dunk of 85. So you're going to be, you're going to be able to finish really, really well, but you're still going to be able to shoot pretty decent as well because you're going to have a 77 mid range and a 75 3. So you're going to be able to shoot the ball, pretty well. But you're also going to have a little bit of playmaking because your pass accuracy is going to be a 76. And your ball handle is only going to be a 69. So if you wanted to go the route of like finishing and playmaking, you could definitely do that as well. That was another really, really good one. Like I said, I like this one a little bit better because of the versatility. And then if you look at your defensive side, guys, you're going to have a decent perimeter defense of 73 with a lateral quickness of 72. You're going to have a 74 steal, a 77 block, a 79 defensive rebounding, and a decent 57 offensive rebound. So for this, guys, like I said, if you look, you have all of these things, pretty much that you could choose from. And this is the reason why I chose this, because it was so versatile. He was a good defender. He was a good shooter. He was a good playmaker. And he was good at, obviously finishing around the basket. So it really depends on you and what, what you would want to do with this build. Me personally, I'm going to go slasher. You've built a facilitating finisher with shades of Latrell Sprewell. And then you also got Jason Tatum there, so that's pretty decent. Tatum is definitely a really good forward, and Brandon Ingram's a good forward in today's game as well. But we'll get right in and we'll test this build, and then we'll get you guys out of here. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to max this out for our 12 finishing badges, guys. I'm going to go with Acrobat. I'm going to go with Posterizer. And I'm going to go Fearless Finisher. For our shooting badges, I'm going to go Hot Zone Hunter. I'm going to go Limitless Spot Up. And I feel like Catch and Shoot is another good one. And then for the last one, guys, it really depends on you. Me personally, guys, I like Deadeye. But if you're someone that you like to be in the corner, you can go Corner Specialist. You can go Blinders. You can go Sniper. Set shooter, it's just really whatever works for you and how you play. And then for the playmaking badges, guys, I feel like you definitely want to go Unpluckable. I feel like Quick First Step is another good one. And then we'll just put Bullet Passer on there on bronze. But again, guys, these badges, these are just more or less, the way that I would do the build. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's how you have to do the build. So for this, though, for the 7 defensive badges, I'm going to go Clamps, Intimidator on gold, and Rebound Chaser on bronze. But again, you could pick and choose ever how you want. But there you have it, guys. I feel like this is a really, really, good Benji Wilson build. Like I said, it's hard to say how his game would have translated to the pros. There's really no way of knowing because we didn't even get to see him in college to get a better idea, of how his game would have progressed as he went up against better competition. So it's just hard to say, guys. Like I said, I went through a couple different kinds of builds on this, and it's just this is the one that I landed on. Like I said, simply because of that versatility, because that was one of the things, he was able to do pretty much everything on the court. He was given, like I said, Nick Anderson said that he was Magic Johnson with a jump shot. So, that's really hard. That's a hard build to make, but I feel like this is pretty close, guys. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd posterize that like button. If this is content that you enjoy, I'd recommend subscribing to the channel. And with that being said, guys, have a wonderful day, night, evening, wherever you are. Have a good one.